City Council meeting, 1st of July. Hope everybody had a wonderful Independence Day celebration. Hope you had an opportunity to come out and join us at our concert, Lights on the Lake. Enjoy a little Rich Springfield. It still looks the same, by the way. But we do have quorum, and we'll get through. I'll ask Councilmember Shantina if he'll lead us in the pledge and invitation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, God, Lord, thank you for giving us this day. Thank you for giving us this team of city staff and police and firemen, Lord, to keep us safe. Lord, thank you for allowing us to do the city's work. Lead, guide, and direct us in everything that we do and help influence all of our decisions. Allow us to do your will. In your most holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Council, we have the minutes of the regular City Council meeting for June 21st. Does everybody have a chance to review those?
Move to approve the minutes of June the 21st.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We have a special presentation this evening. Eddie, come on up. It's Eddie Brown, our Chamber President. We're going to recognize 8 small businesses celebrating 1 year of operation in the city of Sherman and or 1 year of Chamber of Commerce membership.
Right. And on behalf of the Sherman Chamber of Commerce, I want to thank our city, or mayor and council, and our city leadership as well for making this certificate available to these businesses. It's during the times we've been having over the last year for all of us, it's amazing to have the accomplishments that they've made, and we're really excited about that. And thank these businesses as well for choosing Sherman to make their home, make their living, and provide jobs as much as anything. And we look forward to celebrating more and more businesses this way. Thank you.
Absolutely. Do we want to read their names?
Sure. If you want to come around that.
Okay. I don't know how many are here this evening. We've got a few.
I know we've got a few here tonight, so we'll handle that.
Okay.
So first, we're going to go to Joe Cindy Global.
Eddie, can they say what they do?
Yeah. That'd be great.
You want to shake hands?
I have a lot going on.
We haven't practiced this yet.
You're the first one ever.
Thank you very much.
So can they say what they do? Yeah.
Can you tell what you do?
Yes.
Just step up to the microphone.
Here.
And if you would just limit your comments to 10 minutes.
Thank you very much for this. We really do appreciate it. It's been great to be part of the chamber. GoSendMe is a nonprofit organization. We are a mission sending and serving organization, and we serve in many different countries, about 30 countries and 30 different missionaries. We also do local things as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the next one we've got is for Modular Power Solutions. I don't know that we've got anybody here just yet. Interim Healthcare of Sherman. That'll be another one I will order in. Cedar Hollow Rehabilitation Center as well. Cinderella Housekeeping, local business.
I'll clean it
That
up.
one figure out what she had.
They're working, right? Critical Access Billing Services, LLC. How are you, sir?
So, Critical Access Billing Services, we perform billing services for hospitals and medical clinics, as well as nursing homes. That's what we do.
Thank you.
Our next one is for the Sherman Evening Lions Club. I know you're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Eddie?
Would you like to say something?
Well, I'd just like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and City of Sherman for all their support. And our clubs have been around for over 60 years here in Sherman, starting in 1958, right? And so anyway, we hope to stay around another 60 years.
All right.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And Haven Studios. I think that's all of us in it. Thank you again, Kelly.
Thanks, Eddie.
That's not it.
Okay, that's a neat program. We look forward to doing that more in the future. Thank you, Eddie. All right, we are to citizen comments. Does anybody have anything to say? Any comments regarding anything on the agenda this evening? If not, we'll move on to the consent agenda. These items are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion without discussion unless a council member or citizen requests a specific item to be discussed and voted on separately. Consent agenda includes items F1 and F2. Does anybody like these spoken for any reason?
Move to approve consent.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent is approved. Thank you. Under if you'll read proposed resolution 6743, please.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman awarding a bid to Parkinson Management LLC for the purchase and sale of 15.260 plus or minus acres of land in the Elizabeth Jones Survey, abstract number 625, City of Sherman, Mason County, Texas, generally located at the northeast corner of the intersection of West Travis Street and FM 1417, authorizing execution of necessary transaction documents related thereto, finding that the meeting at which this resolution is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Thank you, Linda. And council, if you'll recall, this is the item that we tabled, so we'll need a motion to remove from the table to discuss this.
Make a motion to remove from the table.
Second.
Thank you. Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Robert?
Yes, okay, so as the mayor mentioned, this is the agenda item that we spoke about at the June 7th council meeting, which relates to the sale of the 15 acres-ish by the high school. And as we discussed at that meeting, since that time, I've been working with Ryan to develop the form that was used for this transaction. And then Ryan, of course, has been working with the purchaser and the purchaser's attorney, and so we've got the attorneys talking about the form. So everybody is in agreement about the form and the terms, and that everything has been documented as was bid for this project. One of the other items I wanted to mention is there will be some small closing costs related to this transaction, as is typical with real estate transactions. So we kind of split the baby there. The things that were typically seller expenses will be handled by the seller. Things that are typically buyer expenses will be handled by the buyer. And with maybe the most significant being the title policy, which is kind of one of those that is can go both ways. So we just kind of split that one down the middle. The estimated cost for the title policy is going to be about $17,000. So our cost would be about half of that, or would be half of that. So we expect our total closing costs for the city to be somewhere in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. Would also mention that because we were able to list this property and bid it out ourselves, we saved about $200,000 in real estate commissions by not having to use a real estate broker for that. So sorry for all the real estate brokers that missed out maybe, but that was a good thing to do for the city, I believe. So all in all, this contract would be for this sale of the land for $3.655 million. And then closing costs will be netted at
appreciate Ryan's hard work and going back and taking care of this and taking the direction. I was the one that was uncomfortable with it, I will say, and I appreciate the diligence working on it. But it's much more explanatory to me and flatten out people's functions slightly. But that being said, I'll make a motion if no one else has anything.
I'll second. Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Next one. Here to propose resolution 6750, authorizing execution of the law enforcement officer interlocal agreement between the city of Sherman, Texas and the city of Decatur, Texas. Chief, good evening.
How are y'all? Mayor, council. So this interlocal agreement will allow gunner officers to come into the city of Sherman and assist us with traffic control on the highway project, on the Highway 75 project. We've been doing this for just over a year now, and due to a few issues, number one, the number of officers that are required for some of the major lane changes that are happening fairly frequently, as well as timing of notification and delays. It can take upwards of half a shift of ours to staff this, and that can be quite difficult to feel. Last minute notices, and then when things get delayed, other officer schedules kind of get delayed. So we sent back out to the police chiefs in Grayson County and
Leave it.
very successful. Possible with Edison and Austin, they stepped up and helped out. So we're looking to bring Gunner on board to help alleviate some manpower issues.
Will they be in their patrol units first?
They have an option, actually. So we get reimbursed and we'll pass through to them if they use theirs. However, we do have two older, essentially stripped down vehicles that they could use of ours if they needed to. And so just based upon whomever's vehicle they use is where the reimbursement will go to.
Obviously, I'll leave it to your capable hands, but I would prefer ours.
Absolutely.
And Chief, let me ask you, this is, I didn't see anything in here that finds us anything. This is just as is, or as needed, I'm sorry, like a per diem kind of situation.
Right. So whenever they make the request, our officers will have a certain amount of time to take the first bids, and then as the last resort, it goes out to the other municipalities that have land agreements with the city, and then we'll like us to pass through on that. But again, that's just as a last resort.
You're saying ours has the option to take the bid, so you're saying we need more so you give them a chance for overtime, or is it?
So our officers have the opportunity first. However, we've been running into issues with not having enough to be able to work the other off-duty jobs that are throughout the city that the officers have to do, as well as filling the number of officers that they need on the highway at certain times. And so this will alleviate that for us. And as we realize we have a responsibility with Zachary, the construction company, to give them the protection on the highway, and we'll be able to provide that.
Do you know if we're writing tickets? Because one thing that I heard on stopping is the speeding through there.
Right, so there's a couple of things to that. So part of our agreement with Zachary is that those officers that are set up there will not leave where they're at to go and enforce safety. So they are stationed there. Now we do have officers that are out there pretty frequently, and especially our motorcycle officer, he's been out there. However, I am specifically pretty stringent on where they post, right? So I don't necessarily want our officers out in the middle of the barriered highway. However, before and after we are enforcing when the highway opens up, so that we make sure it's a safe place for them and the people that they enforce the stop.
And just to clarify for the citizens that might be listening, there's still radio in that car.
Yeah.
So they think,
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, no, they're able to communicate.
That's all right.
They're able to communicate, that's for sure.
I move to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. All right, here to item G1, receive quarterly progress report from the Sherman Economic Development Corporation President, Kip Schreiber. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's that time of the quarter again. We come and give our activities for the last quarter just ended. So I'll just kind of go down through this as we do each quarter. I won't go through each item. I'll probably ready to get home and do other things, but I'll try to hit some of the highlights. The second list please the top accomplishments that the board achieved within the past quarter. So I guess the big four we hit, the board passed 4 resolutions. The first resolution, Set Code 2021.04, was a resolution dealing with Eaton Beeline. Eaton is going to invest approximately $672,000 expanding their capabilities at their plant. So our board passed a resolution authorizing an incentive up to 5% for the capital expenditures plus another 5% for anything they buy locally. So technically they could get up to 10%, although I don't know that the entire $672,000 will be sourced locally, but they'll get a pretty good portion of that. So that's a good incentive. It's good to see those companies that are even continuing to expand. The next resolution 2021.05. This was a resolution that we went in partnership with the Workforce Commission and the Denison Development Alliance. This deals more with our AMP and IMT program and those programs in the college and the high school that are seeking to train workers here in the county and Sherman to go to work for our local industries. The state put out basically a grant package that said, hey, if you want to apply for this grant, if you've got a workforce training program in your city, in your community, the state will match dollars for local incentives, which pretty much comes from EDCs, to hire outreach coordinators. So basically, the students right now, the folks in charge that are in charge of recruiting our students, putting these students in these programs, are typically your counselors and sometimes teachers at the high school. We all know counselors are so overloaded right now. So what the state did after talking with some EDCs and workforce boards is said, okay, maybe we need to try and recruit a couple of employees at each workforce board that would have office space in each of the schools. Here we have 5 high schools that feed into those programs. So these employees will actually work for the workforce board. We'll pay for a quarter of their salary, Denison will pay for a quarter of their salary, and the state will pay for half their salary. And these 2 individuals who have been hired already will go out and sit in each of the schools, the 5 schools, every week during the school year and keep track of the students that enter the program. So the student enters the program in August, and typically we may not hear back from them, until October, November, and by then they may have, said, we stopped the program or we're going. This will give us a more timely update on students. The third resolution, 2021.06, that is a contract. The next 2, 2021.06, and then the one we did at the special meeting, 2021.07, these were resolutions authorizing SEDCO to engage architects and general contractors to develop plans and drawings, a set of complete plans and drawings, and then to price out an approximately 78,750 square foot spec building with an expansion capability to take it up to 100,000. The 2 key takeaways from here is what we're going to own is a complete set of plans, and we're going to get the first take on pricing in today's market. So what everybody's anticipating is the pricing right now is probably elevated beyond what it was maybe a year ago or 18 months ago. So the board wanted to be able to have a set of plans that we could see what the pricing on these plans are now, and then if the pricing's too high or higher than what the board is comfortable with, then we can wait 12 to 18 months when hopefully prices will level off. So we won't have to go back and rehire an architect or redraw plans. This gets us the plans that we own. The next, what are your plans for the next quarter? So I'll just highlight a couple of them. Is we're going to continue to aggressively market the attraction of new jobs and investment to our community. We're going to continue to work closely with our existing companies to understand their capital expenditures, their capital budgets over the near term, over the next 1 to 2 years, and encourage them to make those investments and do so by offering our incentives that we typically do. We're going to host our 3rd quarter meetings with our plant managers, safety leaders, and human resource managers. We do this continuously every quarter throughout the year, which kind of helps us, again, understand their capital budgets, understand any HR needs they maybe have, anything that we can help them with. Ashton contacts each company about the job listings that they might have, to put them on our website, ShermanTXJobs.com, to keep those updated. STEPCO and the city of Sherman will have its annual joint meeting. We'll be meeting with you all the second week of September to review our 2020-2021 program of work results, as well as go over the 21-22 proposed budget and program of work for next year. And then finally, to celebrate our 25th anniversary, so hard to believe, a lot of people don't realize that until they count back and came in 96. This is our 25th year anniversary, so our staff's been really hard at work doing a really quality video. We've gotten people that have been around since early on in this process that has a long, going back to the Johnson & Johnson and the Texas Instruments days. So Ashton and Brandy and we just lost our intern Anna, but they did a great job of scheduling folks to come in and sit down in front of the camera, and we're putting together a quality video, and we'll be doing that up, especially in this fall, as fall comes upon us. 100% of the quorum was met at our board meetings last year, or last quarter, I'm sorry. We are currently working on 9 active projects with an estimated $1.3 billion in investments, approximately 2,200 new jobs and 182 retained jobs. I can tell you that stat has changed. I think you'll be getting some information shortly. We've got a lot of projects in the pipeline, and it's exciting to be not only in North Texas, but to be in Sherman. We've just got so many unique assets here with our infrastructure, our available land, a lot of things a lot of other cities don't have, and it's really neat to be able to, when companies come along and say, yeah, we're here, we welcome you, and give us a shot, because we're literally competing with larger towns in the DFW Metroplex and larger towns and larger metro areas across the state. We completed 2 in-person site visits and 1 virtual prospect meeting. And then I had a preliminary meeting with the owners, reps, architects, and engineers for NPS on their new expansion project. I think NPS has submitted plans to the city, so that's a project that's being reviewed right now by the city. We're working on the incentives with them, and that would be another, I think it's about 120,000 square foot building, another 100 jobs. So a lot of good things going on. And I'll stop there. Any questions?
Can I give you a round? We're in executive session. I might have a question for you, if it's appropriate.
I can be, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, pulling into executive.
Yeah. For one of the items.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken. Okay, council, next item, consider scheduling a joint meeting of the City Council and Sherman Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors for Tuesday, 2021, to resolve for executives.
I'll make a motion that we hold that meeting.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are to media questions. Any questions? Dave? No? Okay. Comments?
Last week.
Okay. Josh?
In an effort to set our record, I have no.
Okay.
Well, I'd just like to thank Eddie and Terrence. I know y'all worked hard to get this together tonight for all the local businesses, and to tell you businesses who are here and the ones that were on that list how much we appreciate you from this seat, sitting at the city side. We greatly appreciate you choosing to do business here in Sherman, and for those that opened this year in the face of a pretty strange pandemic, to work your first year and to accomplish that is such a big deal. So thank you so much for choosing to do business in Sherman, and Eddie and Terrence, appreciate you guys working so hard on that.
No comment?
Just a few announcements. Friends of the Sherman Public Library will be hosting a book sale this Saturday, July 10th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1000 North East Street. Members of the Friends can shop early on July 9th, starting at 5 p.m. Contact the library for more information. And again, I want to thank our amazing city staff who helped out fighting for the Lights on the Lake. And hundreds of man hours invested out at the park to make sure that event was successful. And we were rewarded with one of the coolest shows we've ever had. Thank you again to all those who made that happen. This week we'll be back at Kid Park for Texas Country Legend here afternoon. And next week we're expecting a huge crowd for Jefferson Starship. We'd love to see you all out there for both these fantastic artists. Even though it's still a few months away, I want to encourage everyone to get their tickets for the Sherman Celtic Festival on September 25th and 26th. This event will be at Pecan Grove this year. It should be wonderful. So be sure and go let that pass you by. City Council will now hold a closed executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act at Section 551.071 to receive legal advice regarding wastewater treatment agreement November 2nd, 2009, and to receive legal advice regarding disclosure statement requirements under Chapter 176 of the Local Government Code and Section 551.087 to receive a presentation from Maggie Group on the Sherman Hospital project and to discuss an economic development prospect. So at 5:25, we will go into executive session. Thank you.